In this video, I am going to explain how to write Verilog code for 2 to 1 multiplexer using case statement. I pre-assume that you know the functionality and working of your 2 to 1 multiplexer. If not, you please watch tutorial number 17 where I explain in detail about 2 to 1 multiplexer. And also in tutorial 17, we realized the same 2 to 1 multiplexer using data flow level of abstraction, that is using ternary operator. Now let's do the same using a case statement. Now the inputs and outputs would be same, that is output out, and input is a 2-bit, so in 0 and in 1, that is two inputs A and B. Instead of those, let me declare that as a vector, that is input 0 is my, in 0 is my LSB and in 1 is my MSB. And also one more input, that is select input. As output is declared in always block, you have to declare the output as reg type. So that is one important thing. Always at the rate star indicates that whenever there is a change in input, then this statement should be executed. Here you can also put A or B, or I mean that in 0 or in 1 or yes, or you can also write only yes, because whenever the select lines change, then only it should execute. If you want to design a multiplexer in such a way, then you can write S here. Or whenever inputs also changes, then if you want to execute this always block, then you can better put this as star. Now I have written here case X because in the default statement I have given X here. That's why I have written case X. If you want to give here 0 or 1, then it's enough to write case. Okay. Now whenever this indicates that here S is my select line, right? So this block will be executed in such a way that if you are giving an input S, then it will check first for 0. Then if it is 0, then it will execute this statement. So in 0 will be given to your output variable. If this case is failed, then it will go to the next case, right? It will check for 1 and the in 1 will be given to out. So if anyway there might be a chance of getting unused states or other things, then the default case would be executed. So it would be a good practice to write always default case in your case statement type of when you are using case statement. Now the keyword is if you're writing case here, then you have to write end case. So case and end case is one set, and always after always not after module, then you have to write end module. These two confined to one set. So this is a simple Verilog code. Let us once check the syntax of this. And the syntax is correct. Now the test bench would be same like the previous example. So it's like checking all possible cases. For every 2 time steps, I'm changing my select line 0 1 0 1 like that, and also my input all possible combinations I'm giving here. So let me check the behavioral syntax of this, and let us simulate the behavioral model, that is the timing analysis of this, and let's verify whether it was correct or not. So here you can see here, if my select input is 0, then I should get I of 0. So it's like you're getting output is also 0. And if my select input if my select input is 0 and my input I of 0 is 1, so I am getting my output as 1. And if my select input is 1, then I should get I of 1. So you can see here you got 1 as output. So in this manner you can verify these things. Let us also check the RTL schematic of this using case statement, how it would be. Okay. So the RTL schematic is like the simple logic, that is S bar I of 0 plus yes I. So it's like an AND gate, 2 AND gates. For one AND gate, it's like complemented. The input is the select line is complemented, and they are given to an OR gate. Okay. Yeah. If it's complemented, then you are giving, it's like yes bar I of 0 and it's like yes I of 1. You have to look at these things, not here. It's like I1 and I1, so I got a bit confused, but you have to look here, I of 0, I of 1. These are input output buffers. Those can be seen in RTL technology schematic. Let us also implement the technology schematic. Okay, here you can see input output buffers and lookup tables. Why? Because we are targeting on FPGA family, so the implementation would be in the form of lookup tables and input output buffers. Okay, so hope you guys learned something new. That's all for this video. See you in the next one.